Ruffin is a comedian, writer, host, author, and playwright. She was the first Black woman to write for a network late-night talk show host in the United States. She hosted The Amber Ruffin Show on Peacock. She co-authored 2 New York Times best-selling books about racism with her sister.
Amber was Tony nominated for co-writing the Broadway musical adaptation of Some Like It Hot. She co-founded a production company under a Universal Television deal, and she is currently a host on the show Have I Got News for You on CNN. Today, we welcome Amber to the show to discuss the many hats she wears as a creator within the entertainment industry.
Miss Amber Ruffin, welcome to San Francisco.
Thanks.
And to the second recording of Issue Zero podcast.
Yay! Woo!
Yay! We're so excited to have you.
Thank you. It's exciting to be here.
So what have you been up to? What's going on with you?
Girl, everything.
I know.
I've been working regular job at Late Night Seth.
Okay.
I've been working second regular job at Have I Got News for You on CNN. I just put up a musical off Broadway called Bigfoot.
Yes.
We did a good job and it was so cute.
That's so awesome.
And all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, you're busy. You're a very busy lady.
Yeah, I'm a
And
little
yet
bit
she
busy.
made time for us, and we're very grateful for that.
That's right.
Yes, she
Extremely
did.
grateful.
Yes.
So, yeah. So do you want to tell us a little bit about Bigfoot and just what the premise is and what that's about? I don't know if I'll be able to see it unless I'm jaunting over to New York, but we'd love to hear.
The premise of Bigfoot is, well, first of all, we wrote Bigfoot in 2014.
Oh, wow.
And
Oh, wow.
then, we wrote it as part of this thing called Serial Killers, where 5 shows enter and 3 shows leave. So every Saturday you did your little 10 minutes of your show.
Right.
Then if you got voted that you could continue, you wrote another 10 minutes and you had to have it up by Saturday.
Okay.
So-
Wow.
Oh, fun.
Yes, the show, then as a result, the show is like, bang, wait,
Yeah.
because we desperately wanted to win every week. So
Yeah.
we were just going hard. And every song is like the 11th hour song in the musical, but it's like the second song in the show. But I do feel like musicals are boring. A lot of times they can
Thank
be
you for
very
saying
boring.
it, Amber, because
Yeah.
it's hard to
Yeah.
sit
Yeah.
through.
So our musical is an hour and 20 minutes,
Okay.
which is, I was like,
Wonderful.
hey, how lean can we get
Yeah.
this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had to
And
cut a
chop
lot of
some fat.
darlings.
Yeah.
But we were going to, let sleeping dogs lie. We hadn't really, because everyone's busy. We're writing other
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
But then Trump got reelected and we were like, well, now our show is about a crooked mayor who is perpetually drunk, who uses Bigfoot as a scapegoat while he robs the townspeople. And I was like, this is literally happening. When we wrote that show, we were like, haha, isn't this preposterous? And
Yeah.
slept in a safe country.
Right.
Ooh.
And then we
Amen.
got to today, we were like, well, I guess we put this show up now. So we put it up and it did really, really well. And it's just like a case of TV writing type of jokes
Okay.
on stage,
Mhm.
Yeah.
which you never know how it's going to go. But it's so many laughs per minute. And the songs are so catchy that it did really well.
That's awesome.
That's
Hey.
amazing. Oh my
Yeah.
God. I wish I could see it.
I know. Are you going to bring it out here over to the West Coast? We need some of these great shows too over here.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
You do. And I have been saying that
Yeah.
San Francisco is a cultural desert. No, I just No, actually, I co-wrote Some Like It Hot,
Mhm.
the musical, and then I rewrote The Wiz for Broadway.
That's right.
And both of those shows came through San Francisco, I think. And The Wiz is still touring. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. I was not aware of that, and it's so poignant to bring that up during this conversation. As you know, um, one of the reasons why you're here is because of you being on the cover of TrooRa magazine.
Yeah, cover
For
model.
oh my
Yay.
God,
Awesome.
cover model.
I
Let me tell
cannot
you,
wait to
wait
see.
to
It's cute.
I saw a little bit of the
That's more than
behind the
cute.
scenes, and I was like so impressed.
Yeah, there is a difference in how you act when you can see yourself. Like when you're on TV, you're looking at the camera, and then right below it is you, what the camera sees. But when you can't see yourself, you're a wild man. I can't
Exactly.
be looking at those pictures and be like, who is acting like this? But unsupervised, I'll do anything, I
Yeah,
suppose.
and you were amazing. But
Thank you.
when you brought up, the point about when, Trump became president again,
Mhm.
unfortunately for the whole world, I guess we could say,
Yes.
there are so many things that are happening that, target Black women specifically, in the workforce, in every single aspect.
Right.
And it's good to see that you are working and you are actually supporting other Black women that are coming up within their industries.
Yeah.
So I'd love to hear about how you feel about continuing to support, and why do you think that's important?
I feel like no one works harder than Black women.
Amen.
So, I mean, I don't think it's like support as much as it is, I want to do the best.
Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely.
Every Black woman I've ever worked with is at the top,
Right.
at the top of their game and performing, you know, outperforming everyone
Right.
on both sides and up. So I'm just getting the best return on investment as a
Yeah.
Black woman.
I really love you framing it that way
Yes.
because
Yes.
I
Well
feel
said.
like, especially with all this DEI conversation, there is this like people really think that, we're being given something we don't deserve.
Yeah.
Which is asinine
Yeah.
because we're always the most educated in the room. We're
And the least.
always the hardest working in the room. We're always the person that's on top of our game in
Yeah.
the room. That's my experience. And so just that these folks get to frame it as us getting something we don't deserve is really infuriating. But so thank you for
and
framing
there are
that.
all kinds of ways where they prove themselves right, because oh my God, I will pontificate like no one's freaking business.
Mhm.
But what white supremacy does is when someone says, I'm not finna do that, that means they're dumb because they spoke that way,
Mhm.
right? And that's ingrained in Americana.
Mhm.
So once someone smarter than you talks like that
Mhm.
or makes any mistake, then if they do that, then every other Black thing is true of
Yes.
them.
Right.
Yes.
So it allows people to feel superior, and that's the whole goal of white supremacy. It's to coddle the baby,
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a
100%.
toddler mentality,
Yeah.
essentially. Yeah. But, for me, it's like we are experts at code switching. We're experts at adapting to our environment.
Yeah.
And so we speak several languages,
Yeah.
I think that's just what that means. Like, and we've had to do that to navigate living in this country.
Yeah.
So just because they might think that, that makes, someone dumb. No, it actually means they're extremely intelligent
Yeah.
because they know how to switch their language up, for their audience.
Say that.
Hello. I will.
She said, "Hello." 100%. 100%. And with bringing up the whole DEI, I think is so important to talk about that, especially since the new administration has come into power. The first people that have gotten laid off were mainly Black women.
Yeah.
And these Black women are pivoting, as we always do.
Yes.
That's right.
And they are becoming creators, and they are becoming founders and starting new brands and new products to help the world, as we always do. So is there anything that you feel, Amber, as a creator yourself, that you have founded, created, that you want to talk about what that process has been like for you? Besides all the hats that you wear, by the way.
So many. Yeah.
I feel like it's always the same process, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's always an idea you can't shake that you're
Passion.
sure is gonna be great. And buddy, I'm as wrong as I am right. I have learned the worst / best lesson you can learn is nobody caring, nobody thinking about you.
Right.
Once
Yeah.
I found that out, and I
Yeah.
was like, wait a second, I can act however I want to act, and no one is really thinking about me. Buddy, it's been off to the races.
Yeah.
Like, you can ask for whatever you think you could get. You can just ask for it, and no one cares that you asked.
Yeah.
That was another big lesson,
Mhm, mhm.
because these other people are demanding.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And you can be
Yes.
like, hey, no one's doing this. Do you need someone to do this? And
Yeah.
then does that come with a title bump?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do
You
that.
just have to ask.
It's just the audacity and basically just,
Yes.
it's that freedom, I
Mhm.
think, that you feel,
Yeah.
right? That you don't feel those constraints because who cares?
Yeah.
Like, whatever, right? And also knowing that other people are demanding, right? And they have the audacity, and they're also a lot of times less qualified,
Yes. Yeah.
right?
A lot of times.
And
right.
so
Yeah.
we also have to realize that, we could just ask.
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love that too. It's great.
Can I host this podcast?
Yeah.
Yes.
See,
Please.
see,
You
there
bring
you go.
in all the knowledge.
You can be our guest host anytime you want.
Hey everyone, welcome to Issue Zero. I am your guest host.
Look at how natural that was. Perfect.
She's great.
I love it. Tell us about The Wiz. I did not know that. You said that it has traveled all over and it's been around for a while.
Mhm.
And one of the reasons why I started TrooRa magazine was because of stories like that, where I feel there are so many people that are in the background that are not getting the visibility that they deserve, and telling the story and having a place to belong, a sort of visibility engine, if you will. So tell us about The Wiz, please.
The Wiz is the blackest show of all time. We rewrote The Wiz 2 years ago, maybe at this point, and put it up on Broadway, and it was just the heaviest of heavy hitters. Like, I shouldn't start naming people because then I'll miss someone. But every element of the creative team was a heavy hitter, and the show, we were like, look, we could do what they want us to do, or we could just do the blackest thing.
Do the
And so we just
always
did
do the
it. It
blackest.
is guaranteed the blackest show to ever exist. And it just, in that, it feels so warm and so
Natural.
just happy.
Yeah.
When you're in there, you're affirmed in your blackness.
Yes.
When you're in there, you're celebrated for the way you look and the way you talk.
Yeah.
So it's like this healing experience to go see it. It's in, who knows where it is right now. I shouldn't even
I'm
attempt
going to
that.
look it up,
But
though.
yeah,
I'm
we're
definitely going to
everywhere.
look it up and see.
Definitely. Maybe we'll go together.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think that would be awesome. It's such an iconic, you know, story production, right?
Yeah.
To reimagine it and bring it to this newer generation.
Yes.
So imagine how those people felt.
Right?
I
Yeah.
was like, but honestly, it's everything is
Aligned.
like that. When
Mhm.
you want to rewrite a thing, you have to fight the people who want it to be that version of the show. Well, it's also that version of blackness that they're
Mhm.
comfortable with.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
And not this new do for ourselves black,
Mhm.
Right.
So, The Wiz was extremely black. It was as black as you could get then,
Yeah.
but it was certainly in many ways black through the white lens.
Sure.
Gotcha.
And so without that, it loses its appeal to some people.
Yeah.
But without that, it gains so much more
Right.
love.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the authenticity is
Yes.
there in telling that story, with someone like you,
Yeah.
is in not having that white lens, that gaze there, you're, able to connect in a much
Yeah.
different way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
So I love that too. And I'm looking it up so we could see when we could go.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
You're in charge of that.
Okay.
So let's move to the womb issue.
Yeah.
TrooRa magazine will be publishing the womb issue in late May, and I went ahead and asked Amber to be on the cover, and she said yes. See,
That's awesome.
Hey.
That is so awesome.
But the womb issue is sort of it's a love story to myself
Yeah.
with being under pressure for years to get pregnant and to become a mother. And, I love children. I've always loved children. And, I watched over my cousins and now my nieces and nephews. And I used to nanny because I loved so much to just be around children. And I knew that one day I was going to have them, but I was never in a hurry because I wanted to focus on my career and get everything perfect before it happened, because I didn't want my kids to go through maybe some of the things that I went through. And I grew up fantastic. I grew up great. My dad was the ambassador to Haiti in Washington, D.C.
Wow.
And, we traveled. We were very, strictly educated and, came to the States, et cetera, et cetera. So that was not an issue, but there were certain things that from societal pressures I had in my head that I thought had to be a certain way before I could start the process. So we waited longer than usual. We never had any accidents, and then we started trying. And then it was like a 15-year complete dilemma and ordeal. And it became very taxing on the brain.
Oh, yeah.
I had my first surgery when I was 9 years old for fibroids. And I remember hearing your story during your interview with one of our writers. And I would love for you to tell us your experience on that a little bit.
Well, first, I have to know, if you're 9, how do you know you have fibroids?
Yeah.
Well,
What happened? What were the symptoms?
So funny enough, my doctor in Haiti, my pediatrician. So when we go to the doctor in Haiti, they're very thorough. So they'll touch different parts of your body and press and whatever. And I went in let's say it was October, and I had a checkup, and she was like, "What's going on with Trystanne? Why is her stomach? Has she gone to the number 2s this morning?"
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And my mom was like, "I don't know. Have you gone?" And I was like, "I don't know, whatever." And then 3 months later, the pediatrician was at the casino, which is where my grandfather loved to go to the casino. And she saw my grandpa and she said, "Mr. Coles, tell Jessie to bring Trystanne back in. She never let me know about, I just want to make sure everything was okay." That was literally the story. My mom was so freaked out. She came to get me in school the next day and was like, "You need to go to the doctor." And then the doctor sent me for a sonogram, and then they found it. And
Wow.
with that, I also had a a cyst, which was like the size of an orange, and it was hollow. So I went into surgery, and while they were taking out the fibroid and the cyst, the cyst popped, and it was full of liquid. And they had to send the liquid to Florida to get tested because, you know, they didn't have the machines in Haiti. And then luckily it took a month to get the results back, but it was benign and everything was fine. But since then, I'm about to have my 5th fibroid surgery. I have 2 fibroids again right now.
Lord.
So
How big are they?
I think it's like a lime and maybe a bigger lemon. So not huge, but the last surgery I had, it was the size of watermelon.
Oh, Lord.
And the doctor actually took a photo of it and showed it to me after. And I was like, what in the actual? So what's your experience with fibroids?
Yeah.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is wild, dude. Okay, at the end of this story, remind me to tell you what my theory about fibroids is. I'm a conspiracy theorist. Let someone say something wild on the internet. I'll be like, you're insane. Then I'll be like, bubblegum gives you headaches. I feel like my fibroids came on all of a sudden. And that's probably untrue. That's probably just how they shifted.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, I was sleeping. I was taking a nap in the middle of the day, and I do not nap. I never take naps. So I should have known something was wrong. And then when I woke up, I was in a pool of blood.
Oh my gosh.
A pool of blood. Like you could go sloosh.
Oh my God.
And I don't have heavy periods, not really. So I was like, I have passed. Something has happened. I'm dying. I went to the. My stomach was very, very big, but like sometimes I'm big and sometimes I'm little. So I'm like, well, what you know?
As a woman, it fluctuates.
Yeah,
so you never know.
And my weight is wild.
Yeah.
And I also like don't give 2 toots. Like I do comedy, so I don't care. And no one's ever like, hey, could you lose a few? No one's ever said that to me. I don't, no one cares. Again, no one cares what you look like. But that sent me to the doctor, and I was like, my stomach feels big and odd. I went to the doctor. She was like, you are filled with fibroids, dude. This was my gynecologist. Now, when I first started with this gynecologist years before, I said, can you just have a hysterectomy? Even though nothing's wrong with you? She was like, no, what's wrong with you? We're not just going to take out your uterus. I was like, okay, but every period I have is stupid because I'm never going to have a kid. And she's like, yeah, no. So I'm like, fine, cut to this. And she's like, well, I have some great news. You can have your hysterectomy. I was like, yes. So we had to schedule it, so far out because she was, a top New York gynecologist. So I was like, that's probably fine, buddy. Every period in between was excruciating.
Oh my God.
And it was like this. Well, because if your uterus is full, just like a baby, and you're having a period, which is contractions of your uterus, just like a baby, it feels like labor. So I'll never forget my period went just like this. I was like, oh my gosh, ow, we gotta go to the hospital. We gotta go to the, oh my God. That was crazy. Did you hear how I was just screaming? Oh my God. Sorry, we gotta go. We gotta go.
No.
It was just like that.
Oh.
For like a half a day. And I was
until
I figured out, and I was like, well, this is just, there's nothing they can do for me. I mean, they could give me some pain medicine. That's it.
Yeah.
So then it got to the point where I sometimes would sit down and it would feel like I was ripping open. And I would just have to stand up and just spend some time standing. It was horrible. But it just was like a shift when it was still huge.
Mm-hmm.
It was just in the exact right spot where it could get big, big, big. Like when you say watermelon, I'm like, yeah, because however it's positioned
Yeah.
is either you're lucky or unlucky.
Mm-hmm.
And I went from lucky to unlucky like that.
Mm.
But they took out 2 grapefruits
Woof.
and, other little ones, but
Mm-hmm.
I made them take pictures of the 2
You did?
grapefruits. And I
Yeah.
was like, this
I
is
want to see what this
disgusting.
thing looks like.
Yeah, I did.
It's so
I had to
gross.
see it. I had to see
So
it.
gross.
It's gross. You got to do it. If you got to do it. You got to do it. You have to know.
You have
I was
to
like,
see
this
what's
was
in there.
causing me all that pain.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah.
Unpleasant.
Wow.
So tell
this
us your
is
theory.
Harrowing
Yeah.
stories.
Do you have any? Did you ever?
No,
experience?
I never had fibroids,
Okay.
but I did have endometriosis, which is another, very, very painful situation. I was hospitalized 5 times before they even found out or could tell me what it was.
What
Yeah.
I
was
was
wrong?
like, I actually was going in the hospital and they were doing a CAT scan and telling me I had a bowel obstruction. Like my actual intestine was obstructed.
Yeah.
So I couldn't eat anything. And I had to stay in the hospital. And then it would resolve and they would just send me home like, okay, well, looks better. So see you. And then the next month I'd be right back
Back where-
in. And nobody's telling me like, why am I in this excruciating pain, vomiting, can't walk? And finally, one of the ER doctors said, I think it might be endometriosis on my 5th. That was my 5th time going to the hospital. And they went in and did surgery, and that's what it was. And it had gotten onto my bowel. And so they had to release and straighten out the bowel. And then it got onto my appendix, and they had to take that out.
Oh.
Yeah, it had traveled all these different places.
What?
Yeah,
That's terrible.
and so I've been in labor because I have a son, and I've been in labor, and then I've had that pain, and I can tell you that the labor didn't touch the pain I had with the endometriosis. No, it's not something I would wish even on our current president.
Well, that's another
Makes
podcast.
fun of
A
us.
whole nother, yes,
That's
but I'm
another
just saying, like, yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
bad.
we women, we go through so much. Oh my gosh, it's
It is
incredible.
true. And I also couldn't poop. When
Yes.
I had my fibroids, and I would be like, oh, great, it's Friday. It's the day I take X-Lax and poop. And then I wouldn't poop for another week. And then on Friday, I'd be like, hooray, I get to poop today.
Oh
I
my
take
gosh.
X-Lax and
No,
poop.
that
It's
and then
horrible.
that's probably one of the reasons why you always feel so bloated and
Right.
there's it's just not supposed to be there. So it's really
Yeah.
interesting to know that, and it's predominantly in Black women, huh?
Is
Women
it
of
really?
And here's my theory.
Yes, give me the
Let's
So
theory.
get
I
it.
never had fibroids or heavy periods or anything until I started texturizing my hair. And it was 2 years of texturizing my hair, and then bam, I was filled with fibroids. And so my theory is
It's in the
because white women
chemicals.
ain't rolling around talking about I got fibroids all the time like we are.
Mhm.
I know very few Black women who don't have fibroids.
Mhm.
Most of us are like, yeah, I have them, but they're not big enough to worry about.
Yeah,
That's most Black
Yeah.
women.
yeah. My
That's
mom.
true.
And I
Yep.
do think that the two things are connected.
I think it's
My theory.
definitely brought on chemically.
Yeah.
So I believe in your
Well,
theory.
there was that whole relaxer
Yes.
litigation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was going on. I don't know what happened to it, but I remember it being in the news. And there were these attorneys that were reaching out to women who had used, any kind of relaxers or chemicals. They were making that connection to the gynecological issues that we're facing. So,
I mean, we are so many light years behind
yeah.
when it comes to women's health. And my partner has endometriosis, and they were talking about how they talked to their doctor. Their doctor is like, well, we're doing this study for this thing that looks really good for treating endometriosis, but we're not going to be able to do it because we don't have the funding.
Yeah.
And my partner said, well, how much funding do you need?
Right.
And the doctor said $7,000.
No.
They couldn't find $7,000.
That's
It's just like, wow.
Yeah.
I don't nobody want to put 20 on a cure. Can't we all get together crowdsource?
Like, it's really not.
And if it was happening to men, if they were experiencing any of this type of pain, like the whole world would be stopping and all the money in the world would be thrown at trying to find something to, to deal with that. It's really infuriating.
It really is. It really is. And I did see a study on that as well.
Yeah.
Saying that they were, well, there are a lot of great studies coming out, but, we just don't have enough funding for it.
Yeah.
Especially the one that focuses on women of color.
Right.
And specifically Black women.
And imagine how much further behind we are now.
Oh, right.
Because they didn't do what they should have done, and the little $7,000.
$7,000?
Yeah, and I'm not even going to go there. I'm not even going to go there. But there have to be better options for women.
Yeah.
And we're half of the population, the better half, but so I mean, we really need to get some women in power who prioritize us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We have to really
Absolutely.
focus on it. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
Sure would.
Imagine.
I know.
Yeah.
Now wake up. It's terrible.
Yeah, exactly. Wake up, wake up, wake
Come
up.
on, people.
So again, the womb issue is focused on the women that have been struggling to maybe conceive and get pregnant, or the women that chose to have hysterectomies, or the women that had a really hard time conceiving and succeeded, and how we can create without having to necessarily birth through our wombs. So for me, it's really my baby. I've been birthing it for 8 years now. And it's my love, it's my passion. It's something that I'm very, very, very focused on and passionate about. And I know that it's going to be successful because it touches so many lives in a positive way to bring impact. So I'd love to ask both of you ladies what that specifically is for each of you as we get into the
Right. So I'll let Amber go first. You're the guest, so you should go first.
And it's what I am excited to bring into the world. Chaos. I long for no.
You do it so well.
Thank you. Although kind of chaos is kind of what I'm about. But I am like, I'm of two minds. Like, I'm so tired of learning something new. I swear to God. Like for me, I learned how to improvise, and they're like, "Great, now you got to write sketches." I was like, "Great, learned how to do that." And they're like, "Great, now you got to write sitcoms." I'm like, "Okay, great."
Gosh.
Then they're like, "Okay, now can you write a book?" I'm like, "Yeah, I can do it." And they're like, now some musical. Yeah, but I am like, I don't want to learn. I don't want to learn how to do another thing. But then, cut to, someone's gonna be like, "Hey, we're going to a fiddler's convention." I'm like, let me pick out. I can do it. But a funny story about that is that's all Black women. Because when I was 11, I tell this story all the time. I have to stop, and I never will. When I was 11, I was the minister of music at church. Because I was learning how to play the piano from the minister of music, and she taught me one song during choir practice. Then she didn't come back to choir rehearsal anymore, and I, armed with the knowledge of one song, had to just figure out how to play the piano for every Thursday. I would come in and just figure out how to do it, and then just like be sweating every Sunday. It was like,
pressure.
It's great. But I do think that that's every Black woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any one of us. If upstairs they were like, hi, um,
God needs.
if they were like, Michelle Obama's coming and we need to make this room beautiful, we'd be
gosh.
like,
Okay.
no problem.
Got
How
it.
much time we have?
Yeah,
exactly.
That's fine. We need half that. We
Right.
would figure it out,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
would be gorgeous, you know.
Yeah.
But I just think we are born with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
really are.
It's passed down and passed down and passed down. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
just like from generation to generation, like we know how to make something out of nothing.
Yeah.
Yes.
We know how to take the smallest thing or something that had been thrown away and make it into something
Yeah.
beautiful
Yeah.
that other people want
Yeah.
and admire.
That's
right?
right.
Yes. Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, I love being a Black woman. And
Yes. Me too.
I love
Right.
Black women.
Yeah.
Yes, in general. So, yeah. Yay. Oh, me.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
You don't want to tell us? Okay.
No, sure. So I think for me, I had a hard road getting to, have my son. I'm so thankful that, I kind of hung in there, but I had 5 full rounds of IVF, which was, thousands of shots. And in between, because I was on birth control continuously to control the endometriosis. But you can't do that if you're trying to get pregnant.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I had to come off of the birth control, and that kicked me right back into the pain. So in between the IVF, I would be in the hospital in the emergency room because I was in, my husband picking me up and putting me in the car and off to the emergency room. And that was over almost 3 years that it took for me to get pregnant and, and then have a break. Yeah. And so it's, I'm glad that it didn't give up, because I have we have our son now, but I always felt like even before that I had, my son, I always felt that you didn't need to birth a child to be a mother. And
nurture.
I remember talking to a friend about it and saying that, you can still mother, right? Which to mother something or someone is to nurture, to
That's right.
impart, to care for. And that isn't exclusive to pushing, a child out of you.
Yeah.
That can, you can do that for a neighbor. You can do that for a project, for something you create. You could do that for your doggies.
Yeah.
You could do that for, and so
Parents.
I feel like, that nature is there, and you don't have to birth a child to be a mother.
Yeah.
So that's just the way I think about it.
Good answer.
Yeah. You win.
Good, thank you.
Well,
What do I win?
You win the podcast.
I win the podcast.
You get to be co-host. Yay! Well, with that said, we'd love for you, Amber, to close with what
With a prayer?
Yes,
Let's
please,
hold
minister.
hands.
Now that I
We didn't know you were the minister of music.
Can we bring the piano, please?
And what song was it that you learned, but you were directing?
Trouble don't last always.
Oh, that's a good one.
I like that. That's a good
Yeah,
closing.
this is very apt for
Yes,
these
that's right.
times.
Oh, trouble don't last always.
My brother said
Really?
that to me the other day. He goes, relax. Everything ends.
Yeah.
Just give it time.
Yeah. This too
I'm like,
shall
I'm tired.
pass. My mom
Oh,
used to
that's
say
sweet.
that. This
Yeah.
too shall pass.
Yes, my
So-
grandma. That was my grandmother as well.
Holding on to that.
But
Yeah.
thank you so much for
Yay.
being here. We really appreciate your time.
Yay.
And if you want to close in saying anything to follow, like, share, subscribe, or what's coming up for you.
I think I'm Amber Ruffin across all socials.
I think so.
I'm pretty sure. So, look, go in there and go to my TikTok and telling me to post videos because I'm not acting right. Okay.
I need to go to your TikTok
I
now.
know.
Me,
I
you'd
know.
be- oh no, I mean I should be posting more.
Oh,
right.
oh, okay.
I'm not
Okay.
acting up
Oh, right.
yet.
Yesterday you did.
I did. That's right. You're right.
And we can't wait to share that with everybody
It's so
because it was
cute.
amazing.
I can't wait to see this. Really.
It's cute.
But thank you again.
Yay.
Thank you,
And follow
Amber,
Amber
really.
Ruffin and come back for the next one.
So, hey everyone, this has been Issue Zero. I'm your host, Amber Ruffin. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe. We will be back with another one. And we love you very much. And as we always say here at Issue Zero, be a hero. Listen to Issue Zero.
Be a hero. Listen to
Issue Zero. There's our slogan, guys.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Perfect.
Yay.
Thank you, Amber.
Yay.
Thank you so much.